It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Thursday, the 8th of September. I'm Michael Groff. Thank you for joining me this morning, and our weather will be influenced by the effects of Hurricane K and its resultant remnant moisture thereafter. We're already seeing those effects out there this morning in the form of increasing cirrus clouds. As that moisture continues to increase, chances of showers and thunderstorms will be on the increase, particularly across Southern California and the far western parts of our state. That's where we expect to see the heaviest rain. But even here in Phoenix, we are not out of the woods. We could see showers, thunderstorms, maybe even a few severe storms by tomorrow evening. And then the forecast thereafter still will have the chance of some showers and storms even into early next week. Best news of all, temperatures will be headed down to slightly below average levels, and that's something we can all get behind. So let's talk about it here. First, we'll take a look at that almanac from yesterday. 108 degrees the afternoon high, 86 the morning low, the normal high 103, the normal low 81. And as we take a look outside right now, here at 9 o'clock, we've got mostly cloudy sky. A lot of those cirrus clouds out there right now, and we're sitting at 86 degrees at Sky Harbor. Dew point at 68, relative humidity 55%. Wind from the west at 6, but gusting to 20 miles per hour, and the barometer 29.87 inches and falling. All right, the upper air weather pattern is changing here across the west. Our big dome of high pressure is getting squeezed from all sides. We've got an upper low closing off over the Gulf Coast region. We've got the westerlies beginning to sag south across the northern Rockies, the Intermountain West, and then to the south, you've got Hurricane K. And so our ridge is retrograding, it's weakening. That's good news, and that's why temperatures will be lowering today. Here's the watch warning map, and we've got those flood watches across western Arizona from Yuma, La Paz, and Mojave counties into Southern California, Imperial, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties as well. Look at those tropical storm and hurricane warnings up the west coast of Mexico and even off the coastal waters of Southern California. You don't see that too often. Now, further to the north, we still have heat advisories and excessive heat warnings extending from coastal Southern California up into the valleys and into the Pacific Northwest. Unfortunately, those areas further to the north are not going to see a whole lot of relief from this heat, at least not in the short term. Convective outlook for today, a risk of severe storms over parts of Wyoming as well as around St. Cloud and Duluth, Minnesota, and up into parts of Wisconsin and Lake Superior. Here in Arizona, northern portions of the state in the green, an isolated storm possible up there with this increasing moisture. But here in Phoenix, we stay dry at least one more day. I say dry, but those humidity levels will be coming up. Here's a look at the tropics and the Atlantic. Things pretty active here. 4 areas of concern, a couple of tropical waves, one coming off the African coast, a low chance of development. We've got a system in the central Atlantic with a high chance of development, but that's gaining latitude. Then you've got Danielle, that's headed for Western Europe. And then Earl, which is expected to become a major hurricane, right now a Category 2 storm as it passes east of Bermuda and then races out into the North Atlantic. We're not going to worry about that. And then closer to home in the East Pacific, you've got Hurricane K. And that is beginning to come up toward the Baja Spur now. Still a Category 1 storm, top winds 85 miles per hour. That will continue to parallel the coast or just hug the coast as it gradually weakens toward tropical storm strength and takes a position south of San Diego tomorrow. And then this thing is just going to sit around here off of northern Baja for the next several days. And eventually this system will get picked up and maybe its remnant circulation tracks right across Arizona early next week. So we'll be dealing with this system for several days in one form or another. And we'll talk about the implications of all of that as we look at modeling in just a moment. But first, here's the precipitation outlook. This is valid through Thursday morning of next week. Rain amounts here in Phoenix have come up a little bit now, between about 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Could see much heavier rain, of course, across Southern California, 1 to 4 inches possible out that way. And as I show you this graphic, let me remind you, any one spot could get more than this, especially here over south central Arizona. Isolated thunderstorms could put down some really heavy rain tomorrow afternoon into early Saturday. But this is a general idea of what we will see. All right, so let's get into the details of this right now as we explore the models, see what's going on. This is the GFS. It is the 06Z run. This is valid 2 o'clock this afternoon. We've got a trough over the northern plains states and heading into the western Great Lakes and upper low over the Gulf Coast. Our ridge retrograding off the Pacific Northwest coast and K lurking to the south. So put it all together down at the surface for us for the rest of the day today. Mostly cloudy sky, a lot of high clouds around. And high temperatures this afternoon, not quite as warm, but humidity levels higher. So highs upper 90s to around 103. And K coming up on the Baja Spur. Tonight, mostly cloudy, overnight lows upper 70s to mid 80s. And then tomorrow, here comes K moving to a position just southwest of San Diego by tomorrow afternoon. High temperatures here, somewhere in the low to middle 90s, and the outer bands of K now beginning to influence Southern California, Southwest Arizona, maybe some gusty winds, some squall-like conditions at times by tomorrow night. Heavy rain out that way. But here in South Central Arizona, as I said, we're not really completely out of the woods. Remember, whenever you have a landfalling or near landfalling hurricane, making interaction there with the coast, we're going to be in that favorable northeastern quadrant. The winds of this system begin to die down as they interact with the coast, but they also fan out. So we'll be in an area of positive vorticity by tomorrow afternoon. And there is a conditional threat for us for some strong or severe storms, as if we do manage to get some sun tomorrow during the day, that will help to further destabilize the atmosphere. As it is, there is enough vorticity and dynamic upper forcing here for at least scattered showers and thunderstorms. They will be scattered, though. Not everybody's going to get wet. But where they do occur in those outer bands, we could get some training of echoes and some locally heavy rain in some locations over southern Arizona. Now, historically speaking, these systems produce a lot of clouds, a lot of moisture, not typically a whole lot of rain, but any dynamic forcing, any of that positive vorticity could touch off a few severe storms. And so we'll watch, because by tomorrow evening, as those outer bands interact here over southern Arizona, an isolated severe storm could be possible. And if one of those storms gets rooted down in the boundary layer, that could even briefly produce maybe a little spin-up tornado. So all things are possible tomorrow night here across South Central Arizona. Not saying that's going to happen, but it is an outside risk that we have to look at. So we'll keep that in mind. So we're going to bump those rain chances up to 50% here for Phoenix for tomorrow night. I'd say the best window for rain for us, probably from tomorrow afternoon, let's say 5 p.m. through Saturday morning, 5 a.m. or so. But we could see a few showers before and certainly after that. Now, let's go to the day on Saturday. K is still, I want to point out here, I almost forgot to mention, we're going to turn the geekometer all the way up here as we look at a forecast sounding. This is why we believe there's a possibility of a few severe storms tomorrow night. And that is, looking at this forecast sounding, yes, Cape values are coming up between 1 to 2,000 joules per kilogram. And this is becoming a bit more of a realistic scenario. This is one of our convective allowing models, the HRRR. This is at 10 o'clock tomorrow evening. And yeah, you can see the precipitable water values are over 2 inches. Mixing ratios are decent. The one thing we'll notice here is the energy helicity index is not particularly high, but there's just a little bit of veering of the wind with altitude. So that's why with the LCLs being kind of low, unusually low for Phoenix this time of the year, you get a storm that's rooted in the boundary layer. And certainly that's why we have that possibility for maybe a brief spin-up tornado. We'll watch. All right, now we'll go to Saturday, and we'll see the continuing weakening of K off the Southern California coast. But there is still that circulation moisture still being drawn into the region for at least scattered showers and thunderstorms here across South Central Arizona. High temperatures, upper 80s to mid 90s here for Saturday. Sunday, kind of the same thing. K continues to weaken, but still a circulation out there with some moisture around. Widely scattered showers and storms still possible. Highs mid to upper 90s. Then by Monday, we'll start to see the circulation of K get pushed on off to the northeast, and that's going to begin to move toward Arizona. Now, the problem is drier air is going to be in place in the mid-levels. This would ordinarily be a decent setup for a good rain event here, but I think we're going to just see more widely scattered showers and storms. But obviously, the evolution of this still has some uncertainty. High temperatures on Monday and Tuesday, still somewhere in the mid-90s to near 100. Then as we go deeper into next week, troughing begins to set up along the west coast. And so we're not going to see much recovery in temperatures. Highs probably just struggling to make the century mark. We're going to go with highs 95 to 99 for Wednesday. Then a week from today, this is Thursday, the 15th of September. Troughing setting up along the west coast here. So heights pretty close to, if not even a shade below average. So high temperatures still struggling to get to around 100 degrees, if they do, just barely so, and the air mass drying out. Then look at this, going out 10 days. This is Saturday, the 17th of September. Pretty deep trough, upper low coming into the Pacific Northwest and the Great Basin. And that's right, deep southwesterly flow here, and temperatures headed down. We could probably only be in the mid-90s if this is correct. So, yeah, a little taste of what we like to euphemistically call fall around here. I know mid-90s doesn't sound fall-like, but hey, for us, for the 17th of September, that would actually be below average. But of course, this is 10 days out. A lot can change. All right, let's look at rainfall for Phoenix coming off of the GFS Ensemble, and this is going out through the 22nd of September. 31 members. One shows absolutely nothing. One is up there closing in on 3 inches, and then you've got a hodgepodge everywhere in between. The Ensemble mean still staying right around a half an inch or just under that threshold. So we're not too worried about really incredibly heavy rain during this period, but I do believe there's at least a window of time where we could see some decent rain tomorrow into Saturday. All right, temperatures off the national blend of models. Now, we're going to see highs topping 100 degrees today, but then tomorrow through at least Sunday and maybe into a portion of next week, highs barely struggling to get out of the 90s or to around 100 degrees, and that's going to hold through much of the rest of the forecast period, as it does appear that we have seen our last of the 110-degree days. And at this point, even our 100-degree temperatures are becoming limited, probably only a few more weeks of that. And that is going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video back here tomorrow morning. If you enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. All of you on the live chat, yes, I do see you. I just can't read it at this point, at least not live, but I always see it in the post-video chat, so do continue to participate over there, and I will come up with a way to interact live more in the future with your questions live here on the videos, so that will be exciting. And then, of course, all of your comments post-live video are always read, and I try to respond to each of those as well, so keep those coming in. All right, music fans, check it out. It is there 24/7, 365, my streaming station called KMGX, whereupon we play a ton of music, have a lot of fun with that. It is myself and the Asian sensation, the one and only Michelle, involved in the programming, operation, and janitorial work for that station, so do check it out. I leave a link to it, as always, in the description. All right, thank you so much for watching. All of your continued support, it is greatly appreciated. You guys be safe, stay cool, stay hydrated out there. It's going to be another hot one this afternoon, and have yourselves a beautiful Thursday.